What's that, Skip? Shauno's talking about Supercoach again. Let's go. G'day everybody, it's Shauno again, and I'm back with some more Supercoach content. Today we're going to be doing our round 19 review video, and yes, it's time to have a rant. Anyway, before we get on to that, please sub. If you're not already subscribed, please do that for me now. It helps me out a lot. Thank you for so much for all the support I've had so far. So yep, go ahead and sub. Please like the video if you haven't already liked the video, and yeah, leave me a comment down below. And one last thing, don't forget to join my Discord, and if you put your team where it says post my team here on Thursdays when we do our live video, we will put your team up the screen and have a bit of a chat about it. Now, this week we're going to do something a little bit special. So before we get into the actual team, I'm giving you guys and girls out there a chance to name my team for the 2027 season. So we've got three options here. The first option is the Ralph Wiggum's Unpossibles. The second option is Admiral Akbar's Traps. And the third option is Baldrick's Cunning Plan. Now, if you watch my live videos, you'll know what the references are to these, but I'll give you a quick review. So when I usually make a mistake during the live videos, we watch this.
English? That's impossible.
That's Impossible. So Ralph Wiggum's Impossibles. If we find a trap in Supercoach, we like this one.
It's a trap.
Admiral Akbar's Traps. And the last one is a Baldrick's Cunning Plan, which is this one.
Mr. B. I have a cunning plan to solve the problem.
So they are three of the three options that you guys got. So just leave me a comment down below with which name you like the best, and whichever one gets the most over three streams. So we already done one whatever you want to call it, one poll in the live video. And now we're going to do one here as well, and then one in our captains and trades video coming out on Wednesday. Now, if you've already voted once, please go ahead and vote again. That's a reward for watching multiple of my videos. If you're watching all my videos, stick an extra vote in, and yep, whichever one comes out the most is the one that we're going to have, is going to be our name team, the name of our team next season. All right, so, but one more thing before we get in to the actual players in the team, I think we're going to start straight off with a rant. So here we go.
I'm mad!
Thank God his pants stayed on.
All right, you know, Shauno's got a few people in, in low places, a few paparazzi journalists that run around and snap photos and get information that maybe some other people haven't. And yeah, one of my paparazzi friends has snapped a photo of the weekend, and I think all the Supercoach community need to see this. All right, here we go. My rant is Supercoach gods. Look at this. One of the Supercoach gods there, hanging out with the devil. He's got the football there, and in there just loving life. They're laughing away, having a great time. Well, my rant is, Supercoach gods, you suck. Like, come on. Every single week we've got, this week it's Holmes. Last week it's Butters. We got Sinclair, and I could go on and on and on about all the primo injuries and long-term injuries that you've delivered us this season. You guys are really, really, you're evil, nasty, not very nice gods at all. So Shauno's rant this week is, yes, Supercoach gods, you suck. And now we've got the evidence on you. I think we'll be taking you to court for a little bit of a hearing on why you're hanging out with the devil and instead of hanging out with the other gods. Anyway, I hope you found that amusing, crew. I kind of did. So let's get on with how the team went. So we scored 2,273, which is not that great, but we actually managed to go up places, which is quite surprising. I had my thumbnail ready with a big red arrow on it, but instead we got to use the green thumbnail with the up arrow. So in the end, we went up 626 places. Yes, I know my rank is still terrible, but as we know, I am playing for my leagues, and that actually worked out very well for us. We won our league with all our friends, and we actually managed to move up into 6th spot. So we thought maybe we're going to be stuck at 8th spot. We moved up to 6th spot, and we've got an easy beat this week. So um, we should be able to hold that spot. Potentially, we could even move up more if one of these guys ahead of us was to lose. But I think we should be able to have a good chance of holding down 6th spot, which is, I mean, obviously we'd like to be in the top 4, but we're really happy now. We're kind of cemented ourselves in the finals. And even though the team is having troubles, as you can see, at least we have a chance. Another reason we thought we might struggle a little bit this week is we did have Will Day as a late out or a late-ish out, and Jason Horn-Francis, who was suspended on the bench. So 2 primos on the bench. So, how did the team do this week? Well, as we know, the big talking point, Max Home is injured. I believe I've heard around that it's out for the season. Obviously, I will tell you what I'm doing in the way of trades. I've only got 1 trade left, so it looks like I'm going to have no trades after this week. And don't forget to join me for my trades and captains video on Wednesday, where if you do have trades, I'll give you ideas of the best options for Max Holmes. But so Holmes still got a 95, which we'll live with, and he's worth 560k, so we should be able to get somebody good for him. Wilkie down this week. He got 190 this week, last week, and only 74 this week. But I think Geelong showed this is how you play St Kilda. They weren't going to let them just roam around in the back line and get a million possessions. Or Wilkie, Nas, and Brad Hill were all down in scoring. I think all the other coaches are saying you just let Nas run free and get a million possessions and he doesn't affect the game. I think Geelong pretty much showed that's how you shut down St Kilda and that's how you win against St Kilda. Hopefully the other coaches aren't paying attention and Wilkie can get back to his usual scoring next week. He also played a little bit more of a defensive role on, I think it was Pokey Horn, the new guy, something like that for Geelong, so he wasn't, roaming around and getting those intercept marks as much as maybe he normally does. Lockie Ash, a little bit disappointing at 67, thrown into the midfield a little bit again. I think he's still okay, but we don't want to see too many more of these scores, and we would love it to see him move back into the back line. Whitfield just got over 100. Thought this might have been a little bit of a bigger score, but we'll take what we can get. Josh Dacos, another one down. It seems to be this week that everyone who was up last week is down this week. So I think he got a 130 last week and now he's on a 75 this week. Jordan Clark got a 92, who's been relatively consistent over the last month or so. So I guess we'll take a 92 out of Clark with what we expect from him. And Edwards Dirksen with a 41 and a 47 on the bench. In the midfield, we had Dacos 116. Washcroft or Will Ashcroft got a 99. He was our captain. We had the vice captain on Jackson, which I kind of regret a little bit, but we probably still would have gone with Washcroft, even if we had gone Dacos as our vice captain, which was one of our other options. Will Ashcroft did get 32 possessions and 12 contested possessions and only got a 99. So I still think he's a good pick. I just think his disposal efficiency wasn't great on that particular day, but this could have been a big score. Bont was one of our other options for captain, but we thought we'd take a risk because we weren't really going to lose our league match on Washcroft. Should have gone for Bont though, got a 155, but we did. I think him and Sheezel were both in my captain's talking, my captain options if you had to watch my captain's video. Sam Walsh, 122, not bad again, bounce back again for a good score. We like it. Finn Callahan, 79, just been a very disappointing pick. Doesn't seem to like to get his own ball, which is a little bit worrying. Seems to hang around the packs and just wait for someone else to get it for him. So I think he's not on the never again list, but he certainly is on a watch. I won't be picking him next year. That is for sure to start the season. And look who turned up. Mr. Matt Rowell announced himself with a 142. Very nice. Best score since I've had him in my team. And so really going to appreciate that, Matt. I hope you do that every week now. Hawker Hahn, 89. Very nice because we had to play him on field. Unfortunately, we also had to play Fitzgerald on the field with Will Day out. And he got us a 24. That was the score that dropped off, though, as our flex position. So let's bring Will Day back. He was just he had a little bit of a niggle, and said they were thinking about managing him anyway. So it's good that now they get that out of the way, and hopefully he won't be managed through my Supercoach finals. Gawn and Jackson. I thought Gawn, originally we said he could be a captain option, but as soon as Max Heath comes in the team, that goes out the window. So I hope everyone who was thinking about picking Gawn as their captains decided to change their mind when they saw the teams. And Jackson, at first, I thought he wasn't going to do well at Sweet, and then I really kind of got talked into that Sweet wasn't that restrictive. But even though I think he kind of has been, and so he was actually kept to a 94. So maybe I should have gone with my gut and not gone Jackson, but I kind of got talked into it, I kind of think. So yeah, probably should have gone like a Dacos into a Ashcroft or to Bont. Still think I would have picked Ashcroft, but anyway, that's what it teaches me for not going with my gut and going with my own research. Sheasel also would have made a good captain, vice captain option with a 133. Durham, very nice. Pickett, welcome back with a 126. Petrarca, yep, putrid Petrarca, we're going to call you from now on, with a 70 after we paid 580 preseason, traded you out, then paid 580 for you again, and now you're giving me 70s and you're worth 150k less. Riley, the thrill thought was back this week, but he was not playing that second ruck role, only a 62. Yep, hopefully either he gets a bit more time, as a second ruck instead of Toby Murray, or he can start kicking bags. Otherwise, that's going to be a bit of a rough own as well. And look, Dyson Sharp, what a hold this has been. A 99. I actually thought he got 100, but they must have taken a point off him. But 99, welcome, and especially because he had to play because Horn Francis was off. So well done, Dyson Sharp. Thank you very much. Scored more than Petrarca. So, and then we had Grundy got a 96, probably the most disappointing 700k player ever. Again, lost 180k on him, and I think he's only gone over 100 once since I've had him. So you can see why the team was a little bit down, crew. Okay, we forgot to do the MVP of the round like we do sometimes. I'm going to cut this in where I can. So if you look down below, as we usually do, where it says schedule, you will see who the MVP of my team is this week. And we do it by going like this. There you go. The Bont with a big 155 was the MVP this week. And how did the other players poll in the Dennis Committee medal? So the Bont gets 3, which puts him back in the lead, overtaking Sheasel. Then 2 for Matt Rouse, 140. And Dyson Sharp with a 99 coming off the bench to replace Jason Francis gets the 1 point. Harry Sheasel was a little bit unlucky not to get a point there, but I think that whole that Dyson Sharp score really helped me out, where a lot of people might have had a non-playing player in that spot this week. I managed to get a 99, which really helped my score be not too much of a disaster. Anyway, so that is awesome. Let's get on with it. And I guess it's time to talk about, in our trade section, what we're going to do about home. So, I like to call this segment, You're Fired.
This is the last straw, Griffin. You are fired.
Fine. I'm not good enough for this place anyway.
Okay, so what are we going to do about home? So I've only got one to trade left, but if he's out for the rest of the season, I don't think we have an option. Now, there's not many defenders that I really like. Most of the defenders are injured, which I really like, except for Nas, and I can't afford Nas. And I think everything isn't aligned for if I go Holmes out, swing Hawker back, means I'll have to play Hawker on the field, but I do have Edwards as a backup, and Dirksen, we can't really depend on Dirksen just in case Wiedering comes back. He might lose his spot in the team, but I think Edwards isn't going to lose his spot in the team. I think he's pretty solid, so we should have some coverage there. Now, who am I going to pick in the midfield? Well, it's probably the other player. If I hadn't got Will Ashcroft last week, the other player that I was thinking about, Bailey Smith. Now, when I say everything aligns, look at this available cash up here. 0. The exact amount. You couldn't get it any more perfect. So I think that is just like the universe telling me that's the pick for you, Sean. You've got no trades, you've got no dollars, and you're going to have to go through the last 5 weeks of the season like that. So I think that just makes sense. The universe has told me you need to pick Bailey Smith. I don't think I've ever done that in the past, and I don't think I could probably ever be able to do it again. Finish on exactly $0 in the bank. We wish we had more trades. We played pretty bad this season, and it's going to make it hard to win our leagues, but we're going to give it our best shot and just pray that those evil Supercoach gods don't come and punish us any more of our primos with long-term injuries. We do have a little bit of coverage. We've got Sharp down here in the forward line that we can swing to the midfield if we need to, if we have absolute disasters. We have Fitzgerald, even though he had a bad week this week, his time on ground was quite low, but we have him covering there. And in the back line, at the moment, we still have Edwards and Dirksen. So, we have a bit of coverage, but the team looks a little bit rough, and any more injuries, we're going to be in some big trouble. Thankfully, we still have the flex, though, which if we had to have a couple of long-term injuries, we could still probably get away with that. Tell me, what do you think about that whole $0 thing? Pretty cool, eh? Anyway, all right, so now let's talk about captains and vice captains in the segment I like to call Oh Captain, My Captain.
Captain, my captain.
Sit down, Mr. Anderson.
Okay, so for my team, now don't forget, crew, if you want to know the best captain options for you and the best trades for homes for you, join me in my Wednesday video, and don't forget to vote on my captain name in this video and that video. So for me, Adelaide Collingwood, I think you could go Dacos as a vice captain, and now I prefer Gawn if Max Heath has dropped. If Max Heath has dropped, Gawn against Geelong, automatic vice captain, my favourite of the round. If he's not dropped, if Max Heath plays, I think I'll just skip Gawn a little bit. I think he still could do well. There's just less chance he does well. So then you've got, I think I might go to his mate over here, Luke Jackson versus the Eagles. Now, I went this week and he failed. So usually when I pick a player and then they fail, the next week they go big. In the last 3 times, he's got 125, 123, and 165. Especially if Mason Cox is still in the team, I think he's going to be probably my vice captain option. Now, and then the captain, I think, is pretty obvious for me. The Bont of coming off a 155, playing Richmond, 177, 135, and 122. Now, if I could get Bont as my vice captain, now, if I don't know if maybe I could, because I've got Banfield playing in this last game. So, and who else I could do Banfield for? Do I have for Washcroft? I can do that. Banfield for Washcroft, or Banfield for potentially Sheasel down here in the bottom. So I can do it. So potentially even I could go vice captain Bont, because I think he's got the best chance of getting a huge score, and then fall back like on Sheasel. So maybe I'll do that, as we like to, as discussed before, we like to pick the player that has the most potential for getting the biggest score as our vice captain. And maybe we could even try Ashcroft again, as he was a bit down this week, but I think he could bounce back next week as well. So maybe we'll do that. We'll give Ashcroft a second go in a row to prove that he's worthwhile being in Shauno's team. Anyway, that's going to be it for today, crew. Don't forget, subscribe to the videos. Please sub. Thanks for all your support. Like the video. Please go ahead and like the video. It helps me out a lot. Leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to get your vote in on your favorite for my team name for 2027 and join the Discord and put your team in where it says post my team here, and we'll pop it up on the screen on Thursday, which will be in the morning, the live stream this week, Thursday morning / lunchtime, depending on where you are. And yeah, I love those videos, and so those ones, that should be another good one. Anyway, crew, thank you so much. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will talk to you all again very soon.